Have you ever wondered what it takes to be a sign language interpreter? Sign language interpreters play a pivotal role in bridging the communication gap between the hearing and the deaf communities. It's not just about knowing the signs, it's about embodying a set of essential functions that pave the way for effective communication. In this video, we'll uncover these essential functions, laying the groundwork for those aspiring to thrive in this rewarding field. Stay tuned as we delve into the essential physical abilities that a sign language interpreter must possess. What physical abilities are crucial for a sign language interpreter? Let's dive in. To begin with, hearing is fundamental. An interpreter must have the capacity to hear, identify, and comprehend speech without visual assistance. Likewise, clear speech is necessary. It's important that an interpreter can articulate words in a way that is easy for the listener to understand. Next, let's talk about vision. Interpreters must see the minute details of hand shapes, movements, and facial expressions from a range of 3 to 6 feet. This is essential for accurately interpreting sign language. Facial control is another key ability. Interpreters must have mastery over their facial muscles, enabling them to manipulate their eyebrows, cheeks, mouth, and nose. These facial movements often convey critical contextual information in sign language. Manual and finger dexterity are also crucial. Interpreters need to make precisely coordinated movements with their hands and fingers. This is coupled with wrist finger speed, the ability to make fast, simple, repeated movements with the fingers, hands, and wrists. Moving on to limb movement and speed, interpreters must have the capacity to move their arms quickly and place their hands slightly above their head. They also need to extend their arms out towards the front of their body and out to the sides. Dual limb coordination is another important skill. Interpreters must be able to coordinate the movements of both arms while sitting or standing. This ability is crucial for the complex, simultaneous movements often required in sign language. Head control is also important. Interpreters should be able to nod and turn their head from side to side as part of their communication. Last but not least, physical stamina is a must. Interpreting sign language can be physically demanding. Interpreters should be able to endure a medium amount of physical exertion without getting winded or out of breath for at least 30 minutes at a time. These physical abilities form the foundation for effective sign language interpreting, but this is not all. There are cognitive abilities that are equally important. Now, let's explore the cognitive abilities that a sign language interpreter must master. First, we delve into critical thinking. An interpreter must use logic and analysis to assess communicative events, enabling them to adjust their approaches to interpretation. This means they need to understand the context, pick up on subtle cues, and anticipate the speaker's intent. It's not just about translating words verbatim, but also accurately conveying the underlying message. Next up is self-monitoring. Interpreters must be able to monitor and assess their interpretation both during and after a task. They need to be their own harshest critics, constantly analyzing their performance to identify areas for improvement. This ability to self-reflect is crucial in refining their skills and ensuring accurate interpretation. Selective attention also plays a crucial role. Interpreters must be able to concentrate and not be distracted while performing a task and sustain that attention over a period of time. This means focusing on the speaker, even in an environment full of potential distractions. They need to tune out irrelevant information and hone in on the task at hand. Now, let's talk about auditory attention. Interpreters must be able to focus on a single source of auditory information in the presence of other distracting sounds. Imagine being in a bustling conference room or a noisy public event. The interpreter must be able to filter out the noise and concentrate solely on the speaker's words. Finally, we come to visual attention. Interpreters must have the ability to focus on a single source of visual information in the presence of other distracting movements in the surrounding area. This means they need to pay close attention to the speaker's hand gestures, facial expressions, and body language, even if there are other visual stimuli competing for their attention. As you can see, the cognitive skills required for sign language interpretation go far beyond just knowing sign language. It's a complex, demanding role that requires a unique combination of abilities. Mastering these cognitive abilities can significantly enhance the effectiveness of a sign language interpreter. To wrap up, let's summarize what we've learned. As a sign language interpreter, you'll need a unique blend of physical and cognitive abilities. From hearing and speech to vision and manual dexterity, your physical skills are key. Equally important, your cognitive skills need to be sharp. Critical thinking, self-monitoring, and selective attention are just a few of the cognitive abilities that will aid you in this role. By understanding and developing these essential functions, you can embark on a rewarding journey to become a successful sign language interpreter.